folks. Already, we're taking out full-page ads in USA in support of this product.
Oh, I got a Larry Bird stick in your Bird card right away.
One Larry Bird card. There you see, folks. We got more vintage cards in the pack. We've got all the vintage cards in the pack. We've got double vintage cards in the pack. You know, the people are buying packs of 52 Topps cards at $5,000 a pack.
How about a 78 Carlton, too?
1977. 1977 Cy Young year. Cy Young year. And you're going to see cards.
This video, we're going over 5 modern players that I think have room to grow. They're low pop count. I don't think a lot of people realize that not every year is printed the same. Many years there was less sets. Many years the pop counts was much lower. And if you just looked at the past, I don't know, since 2018, that's all changed. So there's certain years that are good years that have legendary players, and those cards could see, well, a good run long term. Before we get to that, I want to talk about 2 videos I'm working on. One is 3 products I think that are going to fail first. I don't know how soon, but I think there'll be 3 of the first products that we see fail. A second video I'm working on is just, it boggles my mind what PSA is doing and the monopoly they've created. And you could call it a conflict of interest. You could just call it a money grab. They already did it with their slabs, and now it seems that's not good enough. They need to get into sales. If you haven't seen the recent interview with SCV Sports Cards, I thought it was very interesting. It's about 30 minutes. I recommend watching the whole thing. It was a good interview. You'll leave with some more knowledge. The first player we're going to talk about is Albert Pujols. You have to go all the way back to the year 2001 for his rookie card. He won the Rookie of the Year that year. The same year Ichiro came in the league. Won 2 World Series with the St. Louis Cardinals. He's a 3-time MVP. And what you have to understand is baseball collectors, people that look at this stuff, they really go after Hall of Famers. And Pujols isn't just your ordinary Hall of Famer. If you exit yourself from the steroid era up until now, he's probably statistics-wise and just player-wise, he's probably the best player to play baseball in the last 25 years. The other thing is Albert Pujols doesn't have a ton of rookie cards, maybe a dozen or so different base rookie cards, and they're all very low pop count. In PSA 9s, you're talking about under 500 or under 1,000. In PSA 10s, you're talking about under 1,000, under 500, very low pop counts. And before we go further, we kind of need to, I'm going to use basketball because we have a few basketball players coming up, but more recently, Luka Doncic, his Prism card, his PSA 10 has over 20,000 graded in a PSA 10. So when you go back and look at someone like Pujols who has less than 1,000 graded in a PSA 10 per set, well, that's 20x the number for Wemby in just Prism rookie cards. You could also look at, Luka. Next, we'll look at Wemby. Wemby has 26,000. This stuff's worthless. And then you could just multiply that by all the different colors, all the different sets. It's far different than some of these other years we're going to look at today. Next to me, I have up the card I would go for, but these rookie cards autographed are the way to go, in my opinion, the on-card auto from back then, because they're going to be more rare, and when collectors from today that got in that are all about the auto, when they go back, they're going to see that. They're going to see there's much less of them. The other one's more common. However, this card, all the players we go over today are pretty rare. Just they're all low pop count, not that many sets. So if I was going after one, I would go after this Bowman card next to me. It's a PSA 10. There's only 187 copies. That's nothing. You know, people look at serial number cards. Well, this is the card. It's a 10. There's only 187. It's his Bowman rookie, and it currently sells for $1,100. Now, in a PSA 9, it's much cheaper. In a PSA 9, it's also low pop count, but it's just $150. In a PSA 9, there's just over 900 of them, and again, it's $150. Very gettable card, and this is a type of card that in the future, yes, collectors, people with money, they're going to put their money there because he's a Hall of Famer. Not only is he a Hall of Famer, he's the best player of his generation. The next player on the list is another legend, a generational talent, the best shooter of all time, and it's not even close in Stephen Curry. He's won 4 NBA championships in the Bay with one team. He's played with one team. And just so you understand, the Bay has a lot of money. The Bay is going to be collecting Steph Curry for decades to come, and he has not that many rookie cards, and all his rookie cards are very low pop count. And the PSA 10 next to me is his tops. There's 372. Now, when you compare that to Luka's PSA 10 Prism with 20,000, which one is going to hold value over time? One is a dime a dozen. Even though he's a great player, even though I'm very happy he's a Laker and he should win titles, prodigy coming from Europe, winning championships in Europe before he's even a adult, if he's 18 years old. However, there's 20,000 of that copy of that card, and there's many other colors and many other sets. We're back in 2009, Steph Curry's rookie year, not many sets. The Panini hasn't taken over. Topps is finishing their run, and his cards are all incredibly low pop count. This card next to me with just $372, it has a $10,000 price tag because there's very few of them. In a PSA 9, there's many more. There's 1,500, but that's still incredibly rare when you compare to today, and it's selling for $2,000. So there is already a premium on his Topps and Topps Chrome card. They're very rare. However, he has other rookie cards if you can't spend that amount that should also age nicely. There's not many of them. They're all low pop count, and he is a generational talent. I don't think I really have to sell you on Steph Curry. We've all seen what he has done. His cards are very low pop count, and it shows in his prices that they're already a premium because of that low pop count. Mookie Betts' pop counts are not quite as low as Curry and Pujols, who we looked at prior to that. However, it shows in the price. In a PSA 10, there's 2,000 of these cards. However, it's only selling in a PSA 10 for $111. So that seems like good value to go put your money there. Mookie Betts won, 3 World Series? 1 in Boston, 2 in LA. In 2018, he was the AL MVP. Mookie Betts has a huge following, both Boston and LA. A lot of money there. A lot of people happy that he won championships. I mainly like this because he doesn't have a lot of sets. They're generally under 5,000 or less in pop count. And he's a legend. He's someone people will collect in the future from this generation. Back in 2014, they weren't obsessed or printing all these different parallels and different colors and different variations. So next to me is his blue? No, blue refractor, which there isn't a whole bunch of these different kind of refractors from 2014. And his current autograph is selling for a hefty price, $8,000. But there's just 15 in this pop count, and there's not a lot of other base or variations, parallels like today, where there's tons of different parallels. So I just feel like the difference between, hey, there's a ton of this player to go get, or there's very few of this player to go get, that matters in the long run. We're going to look at 2 NBA players that are low pop count, not too many cards. They both won an NBA title, but it's up. You would have to decide which one. Who's going to have a better end of their career? Is it Giannis or is it the Joker? Giannis has won 2 MVPs. The Joker's won 3 MVPs. They've both led their team to an NBA final. They're both from out of the country, and they both came in a league at a time when there wasn't a ton of sets being printed by Panini yet. And not a lot of colors, not a lot of variations. Their stuff is very low pop count. A PSA 10 Prism for Giannis, there's just above 3,000, and it's currently selling for about $400. Not terrible. Now, 3,000's getting up there in pop count in a PSA 10, while Jokic, in his PSA 10, there's just 2,000, 1,000 less, and his is currently selling for $700. So I mean, you could always go to the silver, the more rare, which is obviously the price can be higher. You could try to get an auto version, price can be higher. But both these guys have had great careers. Combined, they have 5 MVPs, and I do think it's up to which one has a championship left in them. Which one is going to play for another 5 to 10 years at a high level? I'm not sure. I'd have to put my money on Giannis, to be honest. Joker just doesn't seem like he loves playing NBA basketball. He's always talking about, hey, I'm going to retire and go with my horses. He looked more happy about winning a $20 horse. I think the purse on that was like $35. It had nothing to do with the money. His horse won and he cried. He wasn't crying winning NBA Finals, so that has very interesting insight. Now, hopefully Jokic continues to play for another decade because it'd be good for the NBA. It'd be good for us as fans. Just to really stamp home my about pop counts, Jokic in his silver card has 188 printed, and it's currently selling for over $3,000, almost $4,000. While Luka, on the other hand, in 2018, and this stuff hasn't really slowed down, proven by Wemby, his silver card has 2,000. Almost 2,400 copies versus 188 we saw, and his silver is currently selling for 1,500, and there's just too many of them. Now, when you see a silver with under 200, that's what a silver should be, but they got carried away with their printing and putting this stuff in and making more shinies and making it look good for breaking when you're opening packs, and there's just too many of it now. But when you go back just to 2015, 2016, there's still 8 or 9 variations, not much, and the silver, again, 188 to 2,400. That's, in the long run, one is a winning product and one is a losing product. The last player we're going to cover is Patrick Mahomes. The dude already won 3 Super Bowls. That's insane. He's already had an insane career, and he still has, what, a decade of good football, let's hope, left? I mean, it's his numbers, his stats, he outperforms every other quarterback. He's very marketable. He does play in a small market. However, I would argue with the NFL that you could be a Mahomes or Chiefs fan outside of Kansas City. That's how the NFL works. They really pick up on the big teams, big players. So I think there's a lot of Mahomes fans. I think there's a lot of people that love Mahomes, or even if not, they respect Mahomes. Mahomes came in the league in 2017. Not a lot of different sets being printed. Very low pop count. His PSA 10 Don Russ is currently selling for $1,100. The thing with Mahomes is his pop counts are closer to 3, 4, 5,000. However, he has Prism, Don Russ, and Don Russ Optic. After that, there's not very much. I think, what are we looking at? Stars, Rookie and Stars, Panini Classic, which is a college jersey. There's not many rookie cards of Patrick Mahomes out there. So while the pop count's a little higher than these other guys we're looking at, it's still not crazy high. And he's already a legend. Any of these other quarterbacks we're banking on, I think Josh Allen is an amazing quarterback. Is he going to win 3 Super Bowls in his time? That's far-fetched. Any of these guys. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. Is he all of a sudden going to win 3? And they're also just not as... Josh Allen and Burrow are both pretty flashy, but they're still not Patrick Mahomes. Go into Card Ladder for how many rookie cards these players have, what their pop counts are, and then you could go and buy from there. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you have not. As always, thank you for watching, and have a great day.
We're giving away way too much here.
Hold on a sec. What's the price on this?
This is $600 value. I'm gonna sell for $9.95.
Why you can't do that?
Wait a second.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, a.k.a. Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.